So this is the solution to the puzzle called Infinite Descent. It's a game, and if you can't remember how it works, this is how it works. We started with two randomly generated numbers, sort of quite a high number, like 50 for example, and then a low number, single digit number, big number between 5 and 10.
8.
8, right. And the way the game works is that we start with 50 and take it in turns to write down a number that's less than 50, but it can't be more than 8 less than the previous number. And the version we'll play is the version where the person who writes 1 is the winner. Okay.
The version where you write 1, you're the winner.
Yeah, the version who has to write 1 is the winner. So.
Why do you keep doing that?
Okay. Okay.
Do you know?
I wanted you to win. It looks like I might win.
Yeah, I know.
Come
That's
on.
what I was saying when you went, no. What do you mean you want me to win? Right.
It might illustrate it better.
84.
Oh yeah,
Just
1. Okay, so and so the question is, given any two, starting numbers, the number and the gap number, how can you make sure that you always win? And so the way to do this really is to think about the game in reverse, isn't it? So if we start with 50 and 8, let's say the last person wants to guarantee they're going to put 1. You need to make it so the person before you can't quite make 1. So
So it has to be a number greater than 9, basically.
yeah, so it has to be a number greater than 9. So let's say
10.
10. So if I write 10, then there's a number in between, obviously. If I write 10, then Grace's number has to be between 10 and 1, and then from that number I'll be able to reach. But the question then is, how can I make sure that I'm the person that can write 10? So I have to put a number that means Grace can't quite reach 10, but I know that I'll be able to reach 10. So this was 9 more, so I've got to go 9 more again, haven't I? So if I write 19, Grace can't write 10, but I'll be able to next time. So how can I make sure that I can write 19? Well, I've got to go another 9 above that, haven't I, which would be 28. So I want to be the person who writes 28, because then I can, basically I want to be the person who puts down all of these numbers. So if I go 9 again, so 37 and 46. So if I want to win this game, I want to get onto one of these numbers as quickly as possible and then stick to them, basically. These are my moves, yeah. So if Grace knows what's going on, if she goes first, whoever goes first can write 46 and they're going to win, aren't they? So if two people who know what they're doing are playing the game, player 1 will always win, if they know what to do. So the question then is, because these numbers are randomly generated, how do you quickly work out what numbers, what this sequence is? Because because these numbers are going to be randomly made, and we've got to quickly work out what we're going to do instantly. So as soon as we start playing the game. So if you think about what's happening here, these are going up in 9s. But the reason they're going up in 9s is because 9 is 1 more than 8, isn't it? So we want the number that is closest to 50 that is 1 more than a multiple of 1 more than that.
So 1 more than this is 9, and the closest multiple of 9 to 50 is 45, which is 1 more than 46.
And that's how it works. Should we play another game to see that if we can do that in practice?
Yeah.
So let's.
Can I go first?
Yeah, you can go first. Yeah. So.
I'll still be rubbish. I won't remember the numbers.
Right. So let's see if this works. So let's stick with 50, but we'll change it to 6, shall we?
Yeah.
For example. So think about it. What Grace needs to do is find the closest multiple of 7, which is 4. It's nice. It's a bad
It's
example.
a very bad example.
It's a bad example. Okay, let's change it to.
Don't do 5. I know you can do 5.
Let's change it to 4. Right. So the closest multiple of 4 to
No.
50.
No,
Why is that bad?
because 4 plus 1 is 5. The closest multiple of 5 to 50 is 50.
Oh yeah, this is
So
quite bad.
so you
This is
want
hard.
3,
Yeah.
and then now
Okay.
we can go with
If
that.
we go in 3s, it's kind of a long game if you go in 3s, but we'll try it. So we want the closest multiple of 4, because 1 more than 3, to 50, which is 48.
Yeah.
And what Grace wants to write down first is 1 more than that. And so whatever I do now,
You're doomed.
she's just going to come down in 4s. So if I say 47, you're going to go. You're just going to come down in 4s
Just
from
come
this.
down
and-
in 4s, haven't I?
Yeah.
Why didn't we change the way I write 4?
So I'm going to
Interesting,
go.
isn't it?
40. Yeah. it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I come down in 4s from
Oh
here.
no, I can't say
I was
41.
going to
Can
say,
I?
you can't say 41.
42.
Yeah, I was going
Yeah.
to say, what are you playing now? 41.
Oh dear. 40.
40. Okay, that's 37. This is going to take ages. How about we go dot 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 dot.
No, we've got to show that it works.
Oh, wait, okay,
Yeah,
go on
no,
then.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll do it 35.
Okay. 33.
Okay, 31,
29. That's good.
27,
26. No, I want to go 4 less.
hang on, have I, yeah, 4 less than
Yeah.
27, yeah.
25.
See, I could have gone in there and said 25.
Yeah,
and then
shocking,
we'd have
yeah.
flipped it around and could have been a shock ending. So one way that you can win this, even though if they know what they're doing, is look for a mistake. It's a bit like chess. You win because someone else makes a mistake rather than you do something good.
Clever. Yeah.
Yeah. 16, 13, 11,
9.
8.
5.
And at this point now, I can only write 4, 3 or 2, and whichever one I write,
Yay!
so hopefully that makes sense. So that's how you do it. When you generate these numbers, you add 1 to that number, find the closest multiple of that number to this one, add 1, that's what you write, and then you come down in steps of 4 if it's
Yeah, 1 more than
One
this
more than
every
that.
time.
and that's your sequence.
Yeah.
That is how you win the game if we're saying the person who writes 1 is the winner. So can you, the 2 puzzles now that come out of this is, how do you win the game if you play that the person who writes 1 is the loser? Also, what about if the closest multiple, when we're doing that first closest multiple, like it's a,
So, for example, if we started with 4 here, 4 plus 1 is 5, and then the closest multiple of 5 to 50 is obviously 50, so what do you do in that instance?
what do you do then? Because Yeah, what do you do that? We'll have a think about that and maybe make a second video soon.
Yeah.
But this is the basic, this should get you started, and you should be able to work it out from this. Okay,
Bye.
bye.